We're back with the Bad Vibe podcast with Dwight and Jeremy. He's Dwight.
Yeah, I'm Dwight. We're back.
And I'm Jeremy.
I always like to go real short and sweet with it. Yep, I'm Dwight. We're back.
I always wonder, I was thinking about today, like, we introduce ourselves because we just always do. Mm-hmm. But, like, either if you care, you would already know.
Yeah.
And if you don't care, then you don't care. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if people are like, okay, we get it.
Yeah, they're all like, some dude named Dwight. And they're like Dwayne and Jeremiah or something.
Yeah. I said with Dwight and Jeremy, and then we say, like, it would be different.
You say Dwight and Jeremy, and I'm like, I'm Dwight, and you're like, I'm Jeremy.
Yeah. It would. You know how sometimes there'll be a show, like, say,
but it's kind of like in the title. It's not, but it's kind of like it is the title. You know, the Bad Vibe podcast with Dwight and Jeremy. Yeah. And then we go, but it's not. It's just
no. It's like if it's like the Tonight Show, but there's a different host because the guy's on vacation. So it's like the Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Or let's say Conan. If Conan like took a day off, and the show's called Conan, it's like it's Conan with your host, and it's like, Dwight Smith. Yeah, right.
Yeah, Jimmy does pretty good.
The ratings would plummet.
Jimmy does good.
Yeah, he does good. I think older generations like, fuck him, we want Carson. Get over it, he's been dead for fucking 60 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just, like they said something about the only thing that can take that away from Jimmy Fallon, having the Tonight Show. They're like, well, of course, is Jay Leno. Because he can take
Yeah.
If he just, like, wants it back a little, he can take it. But, yeah.
Yeah, so, anyway, the thing that I wanted to bring, I was going to tell you about it the other day, kind of brief by it, but the fucking ice bucket challenge. Oh,
gosh. I forgot. I mean, like, I haven't forgot. Anytime you go on any any media thing, it's everywhere.
You can't forget.
And all famous people are doing it, so now even the people that didn't hear about it are seeing it.
I don't know how you could have not heard about it.
Like, there was even the one with, there's all the actors doing it, but did you see, we got the email on Twitter for Bill Maher.
I didn't see his. I heard it was something. I don't remember what it was.
Well, I mean, he always does his own way and usually takes it political, and that's what he did.
Yeah, but it's not your own way. You're doing what a billion other people have done.
Yeah.
Here's my challenge. I challenge you to fill a bucket up with AIDS-infected semen and dump that on your head. Well, you fucking self-righteous cunt.
He supposedly poured gas on himself and then lit it, and it shows like an animation of flames, and then he's like burnt, and he challenges Dick
people
Cheney
he don't like to do it.
Dick Cheney, I think.
Yeah,
but now they're just taking something that's popular to like a cute way of doing their own.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Some actors are doing the whole where they're donating the like $10,000. That's like helping, I guess. But none of these people, really care about the ALS shit.
No, I think what you should have to do is like
nobody's. They said there is like 30 million or something like that have been.
Yeah, but it doesn't all go to research. A lot of it goes to like people in charge of the foundation. And
that's cool. That's most things, you know. Look at that. Like a church. That money's not going to help out the church. It's helping to.
It's going to quiet the little kids with finger wounds.
That's helping. Joel Osteen get a fucking
keep his hair
Armani suit
and keep his hair always looking like it's wet.
To keep one of his 3 Porsches fueled.
He's banging some chick on the side.
That's just ridiculous. Anyways, let's get away from all that. The Ice Bucket Challenge.
Yeah, the Ice Bucket Challenge.
I haven't done it, and I won't do it.
No, I absolutely refuse to do it.
It's not that I'm afraid of cold water or afraid of donating. I don't have money to donate, and we're not like against a lot of stuff. It's just I think this one is really stupid.
Fuck Ice Bucket.
At first I was like, oh, look at that, and the one that fell on the girl's head and she got a concussion or whatever, she almost died.
Yeah, some girl fell off a horse.
Yeah, I saw that one too. There was some stuff that people were just stupid, but the whole thing is stupid.
It is. It's not like here's my problem. Ice bucket challenge. Okay, what's so challenging about pouring cold water on your head in August?
Okay, not even all of them are cold. People get regular water, dump ice in it immediately, and then pour it on themselves.
Yeah.
Most of that isn't even cold yet, and if it is, it's not even as cold as it should be.
And it's not enough ice to keep all the water
cold. The ice just hits them. And then there's these people that try to do like their version of it, where they get a cup of ice water and they pour it on their head in their shower, and they're like, I don't know.
It's just the same as if somebody flushed the toilet.
They're just trying to get attention in a different way.
You know, all it's about is me, 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 me.
Oh, yeah.
It isn't about... here's what I want to see.
A lot of people from Gannett have been doing it, and one guy did it pretty funny.
Anybody that does it should have to say what ALS is, because you know they don't know.
That's what a lot of people are putting on the comments and stuff like that. And, yeah, but I don't know. There's some people out there that are like, it really needs to be, and, you know, and I get it.
We should start the AOL Ice Bucket Challenge.
AOL?
Yeah, bring back AOL.
I don't know, dude.
Dump ice on your head, bring back AOL. I don't even really know what AOL means. I think it used to be like AOL.com was your email. But if you're gonna dump
like
ice on your head, I mean, if you're gonna donate money, just donate money to be a decent person. Don't tell everybody you did to show, oh, look at me. I'm gonna put my fucking video out there that I know everybody's gonna see it because it goes viral because it's ice bucket shit.
But it's not even that. There's people that they put it on there and a couple people look at it because it's from around here. You know, I mean, like, I got people on Facebook. That light was fucking blinding me. I got people on Facebook that they'll put something on there and then, like, it's just like any other video they would ever put on there. It's just because they, like, hashtag Ice Bucket Challenge. I don't know. Or ALS. You know.
I wish I was in charge of the Ice Bucket Challenge, and when somebody's going to do it, I get to hold them under ice water for as long as I see fit.
There's some people that actually do, like, a whole lot more ice water. It's still stupid.
It's dumb. Did you hear about the firefighters?
No.
You're going to like this.
Okay.
There was I don't remember where it was at. There was a group of firefighters, and they were like, it was taken from far away so you could see them all. There was a bunch of them standing out in the parking lot, and they were like, you know, we're going to nominate this person to do it and this person, you know, like everybody says. Yeah. And then they're going to spray them with, like, this... I don't remember if it was a big bucket of water above them or a hose. But anyway, they didn't take precautions. And they were standing too close to power lines. So the water arced the power line and fried them. Yeah.
Do they get, like, seriously injured?
I think a couple of them are, like, in critical condition. And a few of them were, like, treated and now they're better.
So they're most likely... volunteer firemen. They didn't know what they were doing.
No, they didn't know. They weren't pros.
They just like the idea of
showing off.
Yeah.
And that's what you get when you show off.
I didn't see that one, though, but I'm definitely going to look it up.
Yeah, it's fucking...
I mean, like, that's, as soon as we get done recording tonight, I'm going to go
anybody that wants to see it, I don't know what to look up, but just...
I mean, fireman Ice Bucket Challenge, fail.
Yeah, that's all you got to do, and you'll find it. But
it's so easy to find stuff now.
It really is.
That's what AOL was as a search engine, I think.
It's easy to find.
It's like Yahoo and, you know, Google.
But I still can't find my keys. When technology catches up to where, like, I don't mean like a little beepy thing on it, because I'll lose the beepy thing. I mean, like, when technology makes life easier. No. I still lose shit. I still forget stuff. I still hate waking up in the morning. When are they going to get technology that makes it where you wake up and you're not tired? Who's working on that? You know, you wake up at like 4:35 whenever you got to get up for work, and you hate life on a level that, like, no one can understand unless they've had to wake up early.
Yeah, when I have to wake up at 4:45 to get ready and leave by 5:15, I'm like, I get out of bed, I see my wife and my son sleeping. I'm like, you fuckers.
They're all cuddled up under the covers.
You know, they're all
nice
like, and it's nice and cool, you know.
Yeah.
My sheet's like blowing in the, you know, with the wind. And I'm like, I have to get up, I go piss. You know, it sucks.
Do you ever think, like, you know how some people keep a gun on their nightstand for intruders? The reason I don't is I know I'd put it in my mouth one morning.
Yeah.
I'd be like, fuck this, I'm tired of waking up. Because, like, you wake up when I was in school, I'd wake up in the morning and I hated it. But now, if I was waking up to go to school, that, you know, it's not that bad. You wake up and go to some shit job. You don't get paid enough. You work too many hours. You have to get up. Why don't we just structure it so that we can all sleep till like 10?
Yeah, I mean, well, I wouldn't mind working till later in the evening if I didn't have to wake up so fucking early. I mean, it is nice once you're already at work. You know, it's like, I go in, I got to be there at 6.
Oh, once I'm up for like 15 minutes, I feel like...
Yeah, but like,
fine.
Once I start at 6. Before I even get there, I'm good. And then I start, and like, I'm like, all right, you know, in a few hours I'm getting out. But if I started at 10 and I get there, you know, after a little bit, you're all like, God damn, I wish I would have came in here 4 hours ago.
yeah.
Because then I would have been already up. But still, when you're going to sleep at night, you're not like, I gotta fucking wake up at 4:45. You're like, I gotta wake up at like 9:30.
Yeah.
You know, like, who fucking cares?
Yeah, like for me, I watch a lot of football games, and when it's like a football game comes on, like I like Oregon Ducks, and they're on the West Coast, so the games start at like 10 o'clock at night. So if I have to wake up the next morning, I watch a game until like until like 12:30 or 1. And I'm like watching the end of it, and I'm like, this is gonna suck.
That's like back in the day before we were all, had wives and stuff.
Yeah.
When like I'd be like, odd numbers. You gotta get odd numbers to go to sleep. And
yeah, I wonder.
I don't know if that's true or not, but it did seem like it helped.
We believed in it there for a while.
And I think if you believed in it, that's like what mattered.
It's like voodoo.
Yeah.
It only works if you believe. The theory was, we read somewhere, or one of us might have made it up, was that when you're not going to get much sleep, like if you can only get a few hours, an odd number of hours will make you more rested, even if it's an hour less than an even number. Whereas 3 would be better sleep than 4 hours.
That sounds very stupid.
It sounds crazy.
But I used to be like, hey, we can play another Madden game because it's 4.
Yeah.
And I'll just go to sleep
Yeah.
I'd have to wake up at like 6 in the morning. And I'm like, well, it's 4 o'clock. Or no, I guess it'd be like 2 o'clock. I wouldn't fucking get 2 hours of sleep. Because
you would almost always get 3 hours of sleep.
There's a cutoff point where you're like, okay, 2 is definitely better than 1. You know what I mean?
But once you get to 2, that's when you're like, fuck it, all-nighter.
Yeah, but
and then the last 30 minutes before you have to go to work, you're like, I fucked up.
Yeah, remember we used to do that, though. We'd all have to go to work, and then we'd get like 45 minutes of sleep, and then haul ass to work.
Oh, man. We used to, when I was 19 or 20, and Dwight was in high school, we used to party every Friday, Saturday night, most weeknights, but Sunday mornings, we had to go to work early in the morning. But that didn't deter us. Saturday nights, we get all fucked up. And
because Saturday night, we work in nights. Get out at 10:30.
Yeah.
And then go party. And if you got to wake up already, be there at 7 in the morning the next day.
I had to be there at 6.
If you have to be there at 6 in the morning and you get out at 10, normal people are like, oh, God, I need to hurry and go to sleep. We'd go and party.
Yeah.
See, I'd have to ride with him because he has to be there at 6, but I'd have to be there at 7. So I would just sit out in the parking lot, sleep.
Yeah.
But still.
We would drink all night, usually stop drinking about an hour before we had to leave for work.
Yeah.
And then we'd always do it. Instead of just staying up.
Well, y'all did it more at first. I would just go and hang out, and then eventually I'd drink too.
It would be 45 minutes before we had to leave for work, and we'd lay down. And you don't, like, when you think you're tired in the morning because I only got 7 hours last night, fuck you. 45 minutes of sleep.
There's people that are like that.
Yeah.
That are like, I only got like 6 or 7 hours.
If I don't get my 8, I can't make it.
I mean, see, I have to wake up at 4:45, so there's a lot of times I go to sleep at like 9:30 or 10.
Yeah.
And that seems insane if you think about it.
If you add up the hours.
A few years ago, that I would get like 3 or 4 hours of sleep.
Almost every night you would sleep 3 hours a night.
Yeah, because I mean, I can run on less sleep than you can, though. I've always been able to.
And you had a less demanding job at that time.
What?
When I was working at TA and you were.
Well, yeah.
That's when a lot of that was taking place.
Yeah, but, I mean, you've always had to sleep more, too, though.
Not anymore.
You go in there, it's dark, it's cold, and you're like a bear.
I used to sleep for like
you
at
put
least
a lot of
10
food
hours
in you.
a night.
Put a lot of food in you, and you hibernate until the morning, and then you go to work late. That's how it used to always be.
But what you don't understand is I work graveyard so long, it fucked me up.
Yeah.
Now I work days, I get about 6.5 hours of sleep a night.
Yeah.
And it's perfectly fine. I go to sleep at a little after 11. I wake up about 5:15, and I'm tired as shit for like 10 minutes. And as soon as I get going, I'm good to go. I never get tired all day.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the perfect amount of sleep. But these people are like, I need my 8 hours. Yeah, they probably also need a cock in their ass to get a good night's sleep. Fucking pussies.
Yeah, see, I'd like to have more sleep now. See, before I didn't need as much. I don't need as much, I guess, because I could go in.
No, as you get older, you really need to like slow down.
I'd have like, I go to sleep. I like getting in bed by like 9 something.
Oh, when you go to bed, like, when you go to bed and you're gonna get a good 7.5 hours, you feel good when you like.
Oh yeah, I get a good shower right before.
Yep.
And then full, that helps too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll just crash out at like 10 and sleep until 4:45, which a lot of people are like, oh gosh, It's like 6.5 hours, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's by the time I fall asleep and everything. But to me, that's a good, solid, enough time.
Yeah, that's
of course, when you wake up, though, you're like,
But it is only when you first wake up.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
You get up, and then, your feet are all stiff, your back's stiff, creaking to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, this is perfectly on subject. You know, Robbie.
Yeah.
Well, for the listeners, Robbie's, I've mentioned it before, he's a guy I work with. He's 6'7". He weighs somewhere in the realm of 500 pounds. I mean, his gut is so massive, it has its own gravity.
Yeah, the thing is...
I mean, he's a huge
I haven't
guy.
seen him since he's been, as big as he is now.
He's humongous.
I haven't seen him probably at least 80 pounds ago.
His head's the size of an average man's, midsection.
He's the biggest person I've ever seen.
Me too, yeah. And I met Hakeem Olajuwon, who is taller than him, but nowhere near as big.
You have?
And we had the same doctor, me and Mom.
Oh, yeah, I remember. I was like, where the fuck did you meet him?
Yeah, I was going to a doctor's appointment for when I had surgery, and I had a sports doctor, and he had the same doctor. Yeah. He was in the elevator, and when we got in, and then he got in, he was on the same floor as us. Mm-hmm. We had, held the door, and he got in. And he was standing in front of us, and I didn't see his face, but, I mean, he's 7'2". I mean, he's literally more than a foot taller than me.
Yeah.
And it was me and Mom, and our mom is almost a foot shorter than me, or was. Yeah, she's
So
dead.
she was probably terrified.
Yeah, and she looked at me, and she was looking at me mouthing, what is that,
She's like, that's a hockey player, isn't it?
No, this was... So I was I was looking at her, and I was trying to motion that he plays basketball, but our mom doesn't know sports.
Yeah.
So he went to get off, we got off on the same floor. He didn't have to wait in the waiting room. And when we went to walk out, he turned around and he said, "How are you doing?" He has a really weird accent because he's from Africa. So he's like...
Yeah.
No, he's
and you understood it?
Yeah. No, he's like, how are you doing? And I was like, good. And I had my arm all wrapped up because I had surgery. And he was like, are you a basketball player? And I started laughing because I'm a short, fat, white guy. And I was like, no, I play football. And he's like, oh, hope you'll get feeling better. And I was like, hey, dude. And I shook his hand, and his middle finger, touched me on, my elbow when we shook hands. And then he walked out, and Mom was like, who was that guy? Does he play football? And I was like, no, Mom. That's Hakeem Olajuwon, one of the most famous basketball players that ever lived. And she's like, oh, he was such a nice guy. And I was like, yeah. I mean, it's one of those weird things when you meet somebody. I was not a big fan of him, but I knew who he was.
Yeah.
And you always get weird. When you meet somebody famous, you get weird. I don't care how cool you think you are.
I mean, especially that. That's famous. That's big time sports famous.
I'm not a basketball fan, and I know who he is. That's how famous he is.
Yeah. I mean, it's not one of the people you would think to... I mean, you wouldn't even think to... if you... I'm stuttering through all this shit. But, I mean, they're like, hey, pick a sports... person that you would like to meet of all time.
Yeah, I wouldn't have picked him, but...
You wouldn't. You wouldn't even think that. I wouldn't even think basketball. No. I mean, I wouldn't even... There are a lot of people like, I like basketball.
Well,
but...
I'm sure you do. That's fine.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
But, I wouldn't even think basketball. I mean, Michael Jordan, everybody says is a dick,
He has to be a dick.
Yeah, I mean...
You can't be that good at something and not be a dick.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's I don't know why he's not nice.
And, I mean, a lot of people that get really, really famous are always... They become...
I mean, everybody says yes, sir, to him.
Douchey. Because...
he's gonna be a dick.
Because they end up they get their way with everything. People are always like, give me an autograph. Everywhere he goes, somebody wants his autograph.
And nobody...
He can't take a shit without the guy next to him trying to hand some toilet paper to him and a marker.
Hey, will you sign this? I'm going to wipe with it, but I'll keep it.
He's like, it's okay if you use some of it.
Yeah.
Actually use some of it.
Yeah. Please?
He's like,
Yeah, it's... Michael Jordan, nobody puts him in his place. Mm-hmm. He's never he bumps into you in line. Nobody's ever who the fuck do you think? Everybody's like, oh, that's Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
So he has he's gonna be a dick. Everybody's like, he's my hero, and he wasn't.
And he's always gonna be.
Oh no, he's not gonna have an awakening.
No, it's not like he's just all of a sudden even if there is somebody that ever is way better than him.
Yeah.
He's still gonna be Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
It's like Babe Ruth if he was still alive, and it doesn't matter that somebody broke his record. Nobody would say anything to Babe
I
Ruth.
just thought about something you were brought up for, like, I think you said if he came back.
Who?
Babe Ruth.
Okay.
Was it you said that?
Wait, tell me.
Maybe not. It might have been actually a comedian. Never mind. I think it was a comedian then.
Well, then what's the story?
They said something about if Babe Ruth came back today, the things he would say about baseball. You know, like how they do it. They're like, I'm sure that's what he would come up with. Like, that's what he would... Baseball is what he would talk about if he came back.
If he came back from death?
If he came back from death. Yeah, and then they're like, oh yeah, there'd be some things he'd talk about.
He wouldn't tell us what's on the other side. He would talk about curveballs. You know, like,
I mean...
How shallow was Babe Ruth?
But anyways, yeah, I was just like...
Yeah.
For some reason I thought it was you, but then I was like, wait,
No, that
hold
wasn't
on.
me.
It was in no way you. But, I was like, well, who did I talk to about fucking Babe Ruth? I didn't talk to anybody that made that joke. I heard it from somewhere, I guess. Somebody out there's like, I know who had that joke. He butchered the shit out of it.
And the other guy told it was funny.
I was thinking of it as a story that me and you were talking about, and then I was like, maybe it was a comedian's joke, and someone's going to be hearing it, and they'll be like, fuck, I know the ending of this one.
If only I could tell.
Yeah.
It probably has a really funny punchline.
I mean, I thought it was pretty funny, because I started laughing when you started saying Babe Ruth. So that's something I heard recently, actually. But.
Babe Ruth is like one of those things. You know how, like, nowadays, when these athletes do anything out of line, it's all over Twitter and they get in trouble and all that?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Babe Ruth, if there was Twitter and all that?
Anybody, though.
All he did was smoke cigars, fuck whores, and hit home runs.
Like him, but anybody that's just has a camera in front of them, you know?
Oh, if I was...
Like Miley Cyrus. Did you hear about the shit that she did? On the VMAs? I mean, that shit she did. Alright, she disguised taking a bum to the thing, you know what I mean? Like...
She took a fake bum?
No, she took a bum.
Oh.
But, you know how she, like, does all this, like, naked shit and all that? You know, she's always doing, like, weird shit,
yeah.
You know, to get, like, I guess more popular, I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
it's working. I mean,
she took,
I know who she is.
A bum to the VMAs, and he went up and took the award for her, like, accepted it for her, and he, like, gave some speech or whatever. And it was, like, a good-looking bum. Why wouldn't she get some guy with the beard?
So I was right. It's a fake bum.
Yeah, maybe. But, I mean...
What's she going to trust?
He, like, gave a speech saying that he's homeless and all this stuff.
Yeah, but bums are wild cards. You going to trust one?
Yeah, I mean, there's those ones that act like bums that go home and then, you know?
No, what I'm saying, a real bum. If she put a real bum up there, chances are he'd have probably pulled out his dick and started jerking it in front of the camera.
Yeah, because he has nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. He's like, I go to jail and eat free food.
Yeah,
and get AC. So, exactly. I mean, what am I going to do?
If he would have went over there and, like, flipped the piano over and started shitting on it.
If he went to prison, he has a long-term free rent.
And he'll probably get raped less.
He doesn't have to get raped by fucking animals sleeping under an overpass.
Oh, I bet that happened.
This quickly got turned into making fun of bums.
Yeah,
and I didn't mean it to. I was meant to make fun of Miley Cyrus, which the's no need to. It just happens.
No. When people are like, Miley Cyrus, she's a bad role model. So?
Well, on one part, I respect that she gets just to do whatever the fuck she wants, and she does it. You know?
I mean, she's just trying to...
But, I mean, she's just trying to have fun. That's like, you could say you want to drink without having emotion. Looks like sucking a dick.
Maybe that's
orange.
What I was saying. That's
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's orange. I was trying to see if the color was orange. Instead, it says orange.
Yeah, I know. Pretty big.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, no, Miley Cyrus, everybody... The only problem I really have with Miley Cyrus, and it's none of my business, but I'll say it, and it makes me sound kind of like a weirdo. Just Mira, was she really pretty until she got legal?
Yeah. Well, she was pretty when she was younger. She's always had that deep, raspy voice thing, though.
I kind of like her singing voice.
No, I mean her talking voice.
She does kind of sound like she's like gargling a load.
There's another, that's a little out there. There's another Disney girl that has like a deep voice too, though. And it's just, when I hear it on the commercial or something, you know, Alex is watching some Disney Channel and I hear it, I'm like, ugh. I just, stop.
You know what I don't like? I don't care who the Disney stars are or if they show their tits or not. But I don't like that there is kids programming. I think it's making pussy-ass kids. When we were growing up, we had cartoons on Saturday morning. And other than that, if you watch TV, you watched adult shows.
And there's
now all day
tons
long
of just channels that that just show cartoons.
They just show cartoons,
but it
and then
really helps out because we just put it on and he watches it.
Yeah, but then when you get older, when you're like a tween or whatever, there's all-day channels that are nothing but...
For every age group,
whatever
there's a channel pretty much dedicated to,
And I think it's making them dumb. Not that our generation's very smart, but I mean...
Yeah.
Those kids are fucking
they don't really have
stupid.
to figure out much for themselves anymore.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I played Legos. And watched old tapes.
Yeah, you watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off and fucking...
Yeah, I was like 8 watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off and playing Legos. Now, they gotta have all the expensive new toys for the movie that they're watching.
Yeah, I'm currently drinking an Orange Crush with Ninja Turtle shit all over it.
I haven't seen the movie, though.
I know, but I'm saying, there's too much marketed to kids.
It's too much marketing completely.
Yeah, everything.
Everywhere you go, it's always on one package of something. You can buy a fucking package of noodles. It's got that box top shit on there. They're showing some fucking show you need to do, tuition shit. It's always some kind of...
Type in the code.
It's one little piece of plastic, little paper stuff going around a bottle, and they got so much stupid shit on it.
Can't I just drink an Orange Crush and not be influenced on what movies to watch? I just want a nice orange drink. A refreshing... You know what I mean?
And you choose that.
I don't care what movies they want me... Yeah, I'll watch the fucking movie.
It's everything in it. Like a plastic bag. Plastic grocery bag.
Yeah.
Look at it. Just fucking shit on it. We know where we got it.
Everything is all
when we're at the house
selling.
and we're fixing to throw it in the trash, or it can go to a dumpster and sit in the ground forever. We don't care that it says Walmart, H-E-B, any other grocery store.
No. In 10,000 years, when the next people that take over are digging, finding out what we were like, they're going to find an Orange Crush can with fucking Ninja Turtles on it, and they're going to be extremely confused.
They're like, what the fuck is that?
Turtles with swords.
Well, they're going to find the little toys, and they're going to be like, okay, what was this?
They worship turtles that stood on two legs and had swords.
They made these little idols, and I don't know what they did with them. I don't know.
They're going to find one next to bones, and they always assume... You ever notice when archaeologists find some old shit, they always tie it into religion?
No, well,
they find a dildo, they're like, this was to the dick god.
No, but they'll see some old bowl or something they found.
Yeah.
And they're like, they use this for cooking and what... He might have jizzed in it or something.
He probably jizzed in it.
You don't know what he did with it. So stop fucking acting like you do.
Well, if you're
what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Stop fucking acting like, I think he made ramen noodles with this.
Yeah, this is where they made rice-a-roni.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to...
this clay pot. They found something one time. There's this thing called the Baghdad battery. And it's supposedly a battery from, thousands of years ago. And I was like, oh, they found a fucking battery. So I'm thinking, Duracell. I'm thinking, it's going to look like a battery or work as a battery. No. It looks like a fucking coconut with the top cut off and it's hollow. That's all it is. And they're like, yeah, but if they put a strip of copper in it, they poured this stuff in it. Yeah. Also, if you hooked wires up to it and ran a light bulb in it, it would light up. That doesn't make it a fucking jack-o'-lantern. It's a coconut-looking thing. It isn't a goddamn battery. What?
Some guy was bored of shit because they didn't have TVs. They didn't have appliances. They didn't have stuff they could do. So he cut a fucking hole in it. And someone's like, what the fuck are you doing? Go pick some fucking berries. Yeah. And he's like, I'll put them in this. Yeah. They're like, yeah. I don't know.
It's not a fucking thing. And I don't know. I'm really interested in, ancient...
Just because we can make a battery out of it, well, a person now can make a battery out of it, doesn't mean they used it.
Yeah, you can also make your microwave work off plugging it into a potato. That doesn't mean if you found an old potato that it was a microwave. One dude had one potato, and he's like, I'm gonna make a baked potato. They're like, how? He's like, check it out. And he's like, fuck.
Yeah.
I can either use it for power to power the microwave or put it in the microwave. Because you can't... Could you plug it in and then run it
with
the cord on it?
He found one potato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you plug it in and then put it in the microwave and shut the cord in the door and cook it?
I don't know how that would work.
Would it work really good?
I think once it gets to a cooked position, it would stop generating itself anyways. It would probably come out semi... Or it'd be frying itself because of the metal.
You want to know the greatest microwave quote of all time? You know it.
Some physics guy's probably like, he said,
pulling his
I don't know why physics gotta be wasting his time listening to our podcast, but still, some guy that loosely has an idea of what he's probably like, oh my gosh, that was the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, there's some physics professor with a shotgun
powering
in his mouth.
a potato powering
the microwave that you're cooking it with.
That's just...
That's either brilliant or stupid. It's not in between. I'm either a genius or a goddamn idiot. And I'm leaning towards the latter. No, but you know this quote. The greatest microwave quote of all time. Our cousin Heath.
What?
We were cooking something in the microwave, and somebody asked, how long do you cook it for? And his response was, the way you know when something's done in the microwave is when you can't see through the glass anymore.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Because he would cook chili until it exploded all over the inside of the microwave.
I can't do that. Crystal would be...
So he said when you can't see inside it anymore, that's when your food's done. And...
You can't ever see inside the little fucking window anyways.
I'm always scared to look in it.
Yeah, it seems like...
It's gotta give you
cancer. It seems like... Alright, if looking at a fucking dog shit can give you some fucking... I'm pretty sure looking at your food, cooking one of those things can give you something.
Some people might not know about that, but it's a Mexican thing.
Yeah.
A lot of Mexicans... when I say Mexicans, I'm not saying a racial slur. I'm saying people from Mexico.
And for you people that live in those certain parts that, get offended by being called a Mexican, that's what everyone calls them here. Mexicans call each other Mexicans.
Because the people from here are from Mexico.
There's Mexicans here that call other Mexicans wetbacks.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
Because your back gets wet when you cross over.
I mean...
There's nothing wrong with it.
But somewhere else... in another state, be like, oh my god, they really said that?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, if you get offended by shit like that, you're probably listening to the wrong podcast.
Yeah.
But a lot of Mexicans believe somewhat.
My wife's Mexican.
Yeah.
Her great-grandma was a wetback. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But she clearly was.
Yeah, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. The only reason we're not wetbacks is because the Irish came over in a boat. That's the only difference. If the fucking Atlantic Ocean wasn't so wide, our people would have walked across too.
I mean, 100 years ago, if someone only spoke Spanish, they weren't from the United States.
They were from here.
Maybe now they could have gotten here and they could still live with it. But 100 years ago...
Yeah, but here...
Here, maybe. I don't know.
We're damn near.
But that lady was, she was like 100 and something or 90 something anyways. But still, she didn't know what the fuck was going on. I mean, for one thing, because she was so old, and that we all spoke English and really fast, and of course the language now.
Yeah.
I mean, the way, I don't know, fucking abbreviating shit, and just, I don't know.
So anyway, the point is...
I'm going off on another path.
In some Mexican, culture, they say that if you watch a dog take a shit, you get a sty in your eye. Now... I'm going to go on a limb and say that's probably not backed up by science.
Sometimes like, no, that's pretty true.
They're like, no, actually,
it's been proven.
The FDA looked into it, and don't watch dog shit.
They're like 10 out of 10 eyes that have watched a dog shitting have got, you're like,
but what's worse than believing that is arguing with them. Because why do you want to watch a dog shit? You're like, no, I like watching dog shit. And I don't get sties. Come on, what are you watching a dog shit? Do you want somebody watching you shit?
Yeah, there's the people like, don't look at it, you'll get a,
Yeah, those people are silly, but you're silly if you're watching a dog shit.
Yeah, but like, I want to look. I don't care if I get a sty. Yeah. I mean, you're either, turned on by a dog shitting, or you're one of those people...
If you get turned on by a dog shitting...
I said you're either one of those people that get turned on, or the people that says you're going to get a sty. You know what I mean? You're either or.
You either have a boner or a sty.
If you're ever walking through Walmart and you see a guy have a sty... You're like, he doesn't like looking at shit. He doesn't like looking at dog shit.
He doesn't get off watching a dog drop a fucking deuce. Isn't it really weird that, when an animal takes a shit and you realize that's what we're supposed to do? When we shit, we, go in, we lock the doors, we hatch down everything, we sit there and we play on our phone, we have all this nice paper, we have this stuff that makes us smell good when we're done. Well, what we're supposed to do is just, when you're walking somewhere and you gotta shit, you just shit.
Yeah.
Everybody else does it except people.
Yeah, a dog doesn't sit over there. I mean, they dig a little hole or whatever. That's not for fucking fun.
No.
I mean, they're they just go over there, they shit, they keep walking. A horse doesn't even stop walking.
No, a horse, cow.
It's not like they're gonna sit over there and read something or
no.
Or
we're the only ones that make an activity out of shitting. To them, shitting is a fucking afterthought.
Well, really, to me though, it's just because I don't want to be bored sitting there shitting.
We've gotten spoiled with, like, having iPhones and shit like that.
Yeah, because I remember before, I would take really quick shits.
Yeah.
Like, when I just would have, like, a flip phone. I mean, who am I going to sit there? Am I going to sit there and have, like, a fucking conversation texting someone, pushing fucking buttons constantly? You know?
How bad did that suck?
I really do, because Crystal has to do that. She has this flip phone. And I've had to, like, text before, and it does some... Because it tries to predictive text, and it fucks it all up. I don't know.
Cell phones were really shitty not that long ago.
Not that long ago at all.
And, well, you know, eventually we'll be like, remember iPhones?
But see, I can remember when texting someone, like... Alright, a girl texts you, you text back. You're not going to have long conversations, but you would text back. But dude text you, that's just gay.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know how it was, because y'all didn't really have phones when you were in high school. I mean, some people did, but not everyone.
There was no texting, and
yeah.
I don't remember ever seeing a cell phone.
Texting came out, I think, around, like, got real popular here when I was, like, in high school.
Yeah.
But it was like a girl would text you and whatever, put a little smiley face thing at the end, and you're like, hey, yeah, you know? But okay, you don't text dudes. You just didn't.
Yeah.
It's not even like, hey, dude, we're coming over. That's gay. You don't do it.
Yeah.
You know, like...
You might as well stick your dick in him.
I mean, and then I don't know where, like how it stopped, and it was okay.
Because texting is so much more convenient.
It really is, because you don't have to fucking...
You don't have to answer right away.
Well, yeah. Well, now, though, it fucking shows when you read it.
That's why you gotta be sneaky.
Well, yeah, we could turn that off. But, I mean...
But if you turn it off, that's being too sneaky. They know you're being sneaky.
No, you just turn it off. I mean, fuck them.
No, I know, but I'm saying if you want to be sneaky, like, if you don't want your wife knowing, like, if she texts you, she's like, hey, on your way home, pick up some milk, but you don't feel like it.
Actually, I have a very good trick.
The turn it off thing?
Yeah. You put your phone on airplane mode and send the person a message, and when it says it can't send, then you turn your airplane mode back on, but it shows that you tried to send it at whatever time you did. So if they send you something, and they're like, why did you text back? Instead of like, oh, I didn't read it. Like, you didn't fucking read your phone for like 4 hours. You didn't see you had a message. And then, you know, you can do that, put it on airplane mode, and send them a message.
It'll
it doesn't go
failed
through.
Message.
Yeah, it shows failed message. You're like, oh, I sent you something, I just didn't see it, didn't. And then I've used this several times.
Yeah.
And it really comes in handy.
It is a good one.
Because you're like, this didn't have signal, it just didn't go through. But I did send it back to you. I invited you to come eat with us. Because that's what I've used it, you know?
Yeah, like if the family's down and they all want to meet up and eat, and there's one that everybody's kind of like, you just... So then when they're going to eventually find out that y'all went and ate without them. So then you're like, no, I tried to text you, you never text back. They're like, no, you didn't. So you go like, oh, I'll show you. You're like, oh, it never went through.
Yeah, and they're all like, oh. And right there, they can't fucking say anything. Even if they think they... even if they've thought of that before.
Yeah.
They probably haven't. But I mean, if
they don't want to give away that they thought of it. So
yeah, I know.
Like, I lost out.
And then you're like, what the fuck? Why would you do something like that? I fucking sent you the message, just didn't go through. Why would you do something like that? You can turn it around on them. You know?
They just have to be like, well, I missed out on chalupas.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, anyways. But
ketchup
we
sandwiches.
have a cousin, Heath. I think we've mentioned him on the podcast before.
Who?
Heath.
Oh, yeah, we just did that. He's the microwave guy.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean before on another podcast.
Yeah.
But when I told him this, because he's like a ladies' man.
Yeah.
When I told him this, he thought it was amazing.
There's no telling
like,
how
it
many
was
chicks
clearly
he fucked with.
the best thing he got out of that day, probably, was learning that new little thing. I'm surprised he had never thought of it. He was like...
He has... I'll tell a quick story about Heath and his lady man stuff.
Oh, we need to... On the next podcast.
Yeah, I'll save it.
This is episode 14, by the way.
Yeah, episode 14.
Did we ever say that?
I don't think we did.
That's fucking bullshit.
I know.
We need to fucking get all that shit straight.
We never tell
I apologize,
listeners.
I apologize, but this has been episode 14
the whole time
of the Bad Vibe Podcast. Huh?
The whole time. It was...
Yeah, the whole time. Not just right now. It's not like that was all lead. Yeah, it's all like, anyways, this is going to start... No.
Now the intro's over.
No, this is going to end
babbled about potatoes and batteries.
39 minutes and 10 seconds into it, we're finally telling you this is the Bad Vibe Podcast, episode 14. But stay tuned, kiddos, because we're going to be back with episode 15.
15. Big number. So we're
it's not that big of a number, but it will be big numbers eventually.
Yeah. So until then, we will see y'all later.
We won't see y'all, but Later. Pterodactyl.